Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, crystal skull people, and time people. Now, I have actually now get off for playing a lot of Fallout 76. So, it's now time to make the 10mm submachine gun from Fallout 3 and other Fallouts. So let's get going, shall we? So, what you need for making this is EVA foam floor mats, some craft foam, some thicker plastic, metal wire, 4 drinking straws with a bendy bit, some nails, and some angle things, and a drill and glue and other bits and pieces, which we'll mention soon enough. So we're starting here by making a pattern out of the screen here by just blowing it up so it looks like it could fit my hand properly. So now we're just gonna make the boxed size of the gun, what was gonna be the biggest part of it. And you see I have to extend the paper a bit here, which I used tape. It's a very interesting way to do things. I have heard that proofs are doing it. Anyway, so now I'm just gonna straighten up all the lines here a little bit from my kind of shaky hand drawing there, so there will be a little bit more 90-degree angles and stuff like that. And now we have done that, I'm actually gonna cut a little bit of a hole here so we can put in magazines into this thing. For 2 reasons: easier to transport and store this thing, and also because it's a little bit cool. You can reload your prop gun. So anyways, now I'm just cutting it out from this EVA floor mat here, with just a very sharp knife. And you see that I have mirrored them on top there, so I can do like this, and it will be better to work with like that. And now I'm taking this piece of pipe here and just twisting it and pushing it down so we can create the hole for the finger and the trigger. You see, like that. And now I'm just gonna cut that off due to it's getting narrower, so we can actually do that thing. And so we're gonna save one of these and take away the textured part of it and then glue it back a little bit later. But now you see, here is the first part that I've cut out from the template there, which is the biggest side panel, like that. So you have to layer these things so you understand, but this is just the easiest way to start doing it, like that, you see. And now we're going to put this 90-degree angle things. I think they're for protecting edges on the wall or something. You can buy them in a hardware store anyway. They're very, very good for making lots of things. And now you see I have a little bit of a template here, which I made double-sided, and now we're gonna cut out the parts gonna go on top of it by taking out the hole here and drawing it out there, and then we're going to make 4 of these and glue them back on top of this thing so they will look like stamped metal. See, like that. And the gun is going to be mirrored, so just making 2 of everything. I think it is mirrored. Now we are going to grind away a little bit of smoother edges here on the handle, so it will be easier to hold. It's only the handle and the back part there that needs to be done like that. The rest of it's going to be very squared and 90 degrees. So, and also be sure to have a respirator and protective goggles and everything. And now all these parts will connect to each other to become the nozzle of the gun. Also the white part was from a toothpaste tube. And now you see I have hard plastic there, which I have glued on, and the detailed part on there on the magazine side thing there. And you see a cut out there on the top, and also marked out where all the bolts are gonna be. So we're going to make a little hole and then take little nails with rounded heads and just push them in there. And now we are going to take the trigger here and glue it in, and also glue in the top part there, also a little bit of a clean up on the foam there needed. So now you see I've cut out the side part here with the detail on top there, which is going to be attached with a big bolt there. And here's the thing, this is actually a foldable stock, this detail, which many guns had. So the weird thing is that it isn't removed when you put a proper stock on it in the game. So you actually could save a lot of weight to remove that. But anyway, it's video game logic. So now we're gonna cut this out here in 2 layers. First doing that big part and then the small part like that. This is gonna be the sight for the gun. And now we're gonna push down with a hole punch here just a little bit, so we just have a marking there because it looks like that. So now you have the detailed stuff there. And now I'm actually gonna make a hole on the side there because we're gonna put a screw there to attach the actual back sight of it, which I forgot to film later on, but you can probably figure out how to do that by yourself. Now the both sides, so the back guys is going to be sit between these things here and line up with the front. Now this is the side part. I don't really exactly know what it is, but I think it's the cocking handle. And you see, we're going to cut these things out, this little detail here, and we're going to put the brown grey stuff that I put on top there is actually things you have to stop the doors from slamming into the wall. So now we're going to glue them back like that and just cut them off. And then cut them out and put them there. See? And these little yellow detail things, I don't know what they are, but they almost look like things there. Now I have put this furniture feet here onto it and drawing around it just to make it so. And then we're going to put it down and I'm actually going to remove them. So they're just going to be glued down like that, and I remove the white part. So now this is a hole for, I think, the ejection slot, but who knows what it is, because this gun has so much things that doesn't make sense. But anyway, now you see we have some holes, and we're also going to have some electrical wires coming out of it, which I absolutely have no idea what to do. So now we are going to have one big and one small one there. Fantastic, isn't it? And now the electrical bullshit parts are coming in here, because I don't really exactly know. In the third game, they have these wires, but in 76 they are colored. So they are clearly wires, but wires to what? And now I'm cutting here a little bit of a trench thing here, so it can be, when it heated, it will go up, and also cut these things back apart to have a little bit of a back stock thing there, and then gluing this strip of craft foam there to create a little back detail there. Now we're taking a saw blade here and making the handle comfort gripping thingy, and also taking this bigger pipe here and twisting it, pushing down so we get this detail, and the smaller pipe to pushing it inside there so it looks like the detail on the gun itself. Still, I have no idea what that actually does. And also the button there, which I think is the magazine release, but who knows. And now more electrical bullshit wires being glued and attached. There are 2 of them, and now we're gonna make a little hole there to put in the nozzle to the gun there. And now we are going to put these 2 parts here to create the magazine to be stuck in there. You maybe have to adjust make it a little bit more narrower. I had to do that. Anyway, so now we are going to glue the side here, the yellow side of yellowness. And now we have the drinking straws that I put in there, and we're just gonna cut them to life and just squeeze them together and put them inside here to create the front metal thing that holds up something, mainly sling attachment. And also put the front side on, and then go and spray it all black. And now we're going to paint this in very interesting grey colors. In Fallout 76, the gun is actually gun metal completely and have yellow and red wires coming out of it. There is no other colors what I have seen so far of the guns I have collected in the game. But anyway, so now we're going to dry brush a little bit of a side panel thing going on here, because the coloring scheme is actually more interesting in Fallout 3 for this, because it actually has more than gunmetal color. So now I'm actually going to take a little bit of a darker grey on top of the light grey. Why? Because it can be done. And now also going to have some little bit of a metal brushing to the thing here to make it a little bit more contrasted, and to not make it look too much like Fallout 3, which is just completely grey everything. Oh, sorry, we're going to screw back the rear sight here, which I Then we're gonna have some brown here, which can be rust and dirt and stuff, and just make it so it looks a little bit more interesting. And I hope you find this video fun. Thank you for watching. Now, I do hope you all find this a very good and interesting way to make this prop gun too. Due to I was surprised that I could not find any build videos of this thing, even though it has been in the games for a long time now. But anyway, don't forget to ask me questions for the yearly Q&A. See you next one.